Wonderkids. There are literally hundreds of Wonderkids in Football Manager 26. And sometimes when you're managing a smaller team, who doesn't have a big enough reputation or the budget to go and sign the elite big name Wonderkids, you're still going to need players that can help you develop your team, lead you to glory in game. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you a list of dirt cheap Wonderkids that you can approach to sign, should still be able to improve your team. You're managing a smaller club. Before I get into it though, please don't forget to like today's video and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Right then, let's jump into Football Manager 26 and show you some of these Wonderkids. Now bear in mind here, some of these names are pretty obscure. You may need large databases or localized leagues to find some of these players. The first player in today's video is an Australian centre-back. This is Tom Larkham. He's 19 years old, begins the game at Olympic FC, and at 6'2" is a commanding centre-back. Looking at the attributes, he scores highly in the physicals for his acceleration, jumping reach and natural fitness. In the mentals, it's his decisions, leadership and positioning. And then in the technicals, he scores highly for heading, marking and tackling. One of the best things about this defender, he's available for absolutely nothing at the start of the game. Make sure you approach Olympic FC and try and sign him at the start of your save game. Next up, we're looking at a Belgian attacking midfielder. This is Noah Hartman. He's 19 years old and begins the game at Ganshoren in Belgium. He is an attacking midfielder through the centre of the pitch, can also move out to the wide left and can move into a striker role if needed. Looking at the attributes at the beginning of the game, he scores highly for the physicals in his acceleration, agility, balance, natural fitness, pace and stamina. In the mentals, it is aggression, determination of 16, teamwork and work rate. Then in the technicals, it is crossing, dribbling, first touch, passing and technique. This is another player that you can go and approach to sign at the start of the game for absolutely nothing. He looks like he could be an attacking midfielder that will carry your team to glory. Next up, we are looking at a Spanish central defender who plays for Real Madrid. This is Paulo Almeida. At the age of 18, he begins the game as part of Real Madrid's under-19s team and plays as a centre-back. Looking at the attributes, he scores highly in the physicals for acceleration, agility and natural fitness. In the mentals, it's his concentration, decisions and positioning. And then in the technicals, it is marking and tackling. He's a player that is set up to be a commanding centre-back and is valued at just £2.5 to £8,000. Make sure to see if you can poach him from Real Madrid early on in your save. Next up, we are looking at a Japanese right back. This is Herotto Noda. He's 19 years old, begins the game with Kawasaki Frontale's reserves. He's a right back by trade, can also play as a central midfielder or a defensive midfielder too. Looking at the attributes, he scores highly for acceleration, balance, natural fitness and pace. In the mentals, it's aggression, bravery and determination. And then in the technicals, it's the tackling that are standouts. He's available at the start of save games between £18,000 and £50,000. This could go on to become a bargain right back. Next up, we are looking at a Brazilian wonderkid. This is William Magiezi. He's 19 years old and begins the game at Capivariano in Brazil. He's a centre-back by trade, but can also play as a defensive midfielder too. Looking at the attributes, he's set up to develop nicely. In terms of the physicals, he scores highly for agility, jumping reach, and natural fitness. In the mentals, it is aggression, composure, concentration, determination, and positioning. And then in the technicals, he scores highly for heading, marking, passing, tackling, and technique. This is a player that you can approach to sign for nothing at the start of your saves. Make sure you check him out in your save game. Next up, we are looking at the only goalkeeper on this list. This is Ryu Seong Min. He's a 21-year-old Korean goalkeeper who begins the game in Ulsan's reserve team. Looking at his attributes at the start of the game, he's sound as a goalkeeper in terms of aerial reach, handling, kicking, passing, reflexes. It all scores highly. In the mentals, he scores well for aggression, he scores well for bravery, determination and leadership. And then in the physicals, jumping reach of 16, natural fitness of 13 and agility of 13 also. This is a player who is valued at £28,000 to £80,000. Could go on to become a bargain goalkeeper. The next player we are looking at is a South American who plays for Defensor Sporting under 19s. This is Emiliano Alonzo. At the age of 18, he's a striker that has bags of potential. Looking at the attributes, in terms of the physicals, it's his agility and natural fitness that stand out. In terms of the technicals, dribbling, finishing of 14, first touch of 14, heading of 13, and technique of 11. This is a player that could develop massively in the future. Make sure you check him out because at the value of £3,000 to £8,000, this could be the bargain striker you didn't know about until right now. And the final player we're going to take a look at on this list of dirt cheap wonder kids is a Norwegian who's playing his club football in Italy for Inter. This is Matteo Arntzen. He's 16 years old, begins the game in Inter's under 18s team. He begins as a central midfielder, but can also double up as a defensive midfielder if you need him. Looking at the attributes, there is plenty of room to grow. In terms of the physicals, he has standout acceleration and natural fitness. In the mentals, it's aggression, decisions, flair, leadership, positioning, and vision. And in the technicals, it's his first touch and his passing that stand out. At a price range of £26,000 to £80,000, might be worth approaching Inter early in the game to see if you can get this wonder kid from them. So there we go then. That is my list of dirt cheap wonder kids that I think you should be approaching to sign at the start of your saves. Now, as mentioned at the start of the video, some of these players are quite obscure. They play in leagues that are going to require you to load the local regions or have a bigger database to find them. And also some of them might have just joined clubs, so you may have to wait a season or scout them in advance to sign them early on in your saves. Let me know though in the comments section down below, do any of these players take your fancy? Do you think any of them can go on to develop to bigger and better things? Also, please don't forget to like today's video and make sure you are subscribed to the channel.